Well, I hope everyone's doing okay today. I wanted to get out an article I wrote years ago and share with you on decluttering and downsizing. I remember my thoughts when my 70-year-old friend Barbara decided she wanted to live in a 65 plus assisted living community because of health issues and medical bills. Her son was too busy with his own life, 3 towns away, and he spent little time with her, not much more than the holidays. Medical expenses was the main reason she wanted to move now, as she said it, before the hospital would own it all. Before she could sell her home, she needed to empty the house of years and years of accumulations, and she asked for my help. It took weeks. Sometimes I can get myself into some deep doo-doo for a good cause. The home wasn't dirty. That wasn't the issue. The home was huge. She had told her adult son in a phone call she felt it was time for her to do a death cleaning. I love imagining her son's bewildered expression when she made that call. She told him to come get what he wanted from the house, as she had moved most of what she was keeping into a bedroom. He reassured her that he didn't want anything, as their styles were different, and he didn't have time hanging up before she could tell him she was selling the family home. That made her all the more determined, as she told me the next time I call him will be to say, I moved. Well, once we were ready, she had a major in-house sale. She had took out a half-page advertisement in the newspaper. Her home looked like a church rummage sale with price tags on everything. She even had a room where there was boxes of this, that, and the other, and who knows what, that she sold for $1 a bag. People would come in and fill up a bag and pay her $1. Would you believe that was the first room that was emptied out? She had arranged with a neighbor to haul what remained away to donation sites or to the road for garbage pickup 2 days after the 5-day sale. She actually did really good on selling just the items in the house. And it made her feel good to donate to Easter seals what didn't sell. Oh, some things went to Goodwill, but not as much as went to Easter seals. The neighbor that hauled the things away also eventually moved her in her new apartment when it was ready. I'm sure many of us would not take such a radical approach as she did, but it was the quickest way for her to eliminate the high cost and pay her medical bills. Her housing costs, I should say her cost of living, was extremely high in that house. By the time you figure the electric bill and water, gas to heat it, extremely high cost of living. Being alone in a large house and getting older can be a burden on your wallet and health. In time, I seen the difference in her mental and physical outcome with moving to a smaller, age-appropriate apartment. She no longer had yard work. She was spending less time cleaning and more time with others in her own age group. The sale of her home was a little nest egg for future medical bills, trips she had denied herself through the years, and her final funeral expenses. The very few furnishings and items she kept were for her specific needs and passions. When she passed 8 years later, her son spent one day removing her things. Those things he wanted. The bottom line in my reflecting back on this story is someone will have to clean up after you. Whoever it may be might find it to be a burden if they have days and days of clearing of clutter. It's a big step, yes, but it's also easier than you think if you just discuss and plan and figure out what you really want and don't be tempted by what you don't need. Among the many rewards of decluttering is clearing out mental space. Clutter is the delayed decisions. How does that serve your life goals? Once you declutter your home, then you can downsize. You can also repaint rooms, make repairs on your home, and get it ready for the new owners if you're selling. Downsizing is another way to live on a fixed income. A smaller place means smaller utilities. It isn't something that you can do in a day or two. And it can be emotional, letting go. Downsizing to the new you is how you got to look at it. A good time to size down is when your children have built their own lives. And hopefully that's before you get too old and overwhelmed by the thought of downsizing and moving. It's better to declutter throughout the years before retirement. One day a week, maybe two. Preferably the days before the garbage pickup. Start decluttering closets, drawers, cabinets. You know, it's where we hide things that we don't use often or not at all. Take the attic, for instance. What's been up there forever? I know when I started, I decided to get rid of most of the clutter in my life and focus on the items that are, to paraphrase William Morris, either useful or beautiful. Any time is a good time to assess what is important in our lives. By focusing on my priorities and downsizing now, I can make time for the things that really matter. You know, the time you spend with your grandchildren, the time you spend out gardening or walking the dog or going shopping. But watch shopping and filling your house back up. In a literal sense, downsizing can mean moving to a smaller house or learning to travel light. That's me. It is this and so much more to me. After a lifetime of accumulating stuff, by downsizing allowed me to create and simplify my life on a fundamental level. It all started with shifting my focus away from things and towards experiences and people. With less things around me, my home would be a reflection of my priorities and my passions. I love the idea. I spent a lot of hours cleaning things when I would have rather been outdoors. I don't know. I feel like I got back to me. And I have room in my life now for those little things I like to do that no one else around here does, but I have room to do it now. A desktop or a whole room of media, movies, music that I prefer. See, this is how I started, and that was with the attic, knowing there was memories stored up there. It's easier to take a picture of those things than to store them around for another 25 years. It's simple. Can you answer yes to do I love it, do I need it, or will I use it? If not, then out it goes. It doesn't matter whether it was a gift, it's in good condition, or it was expensive. You make 3 piles. A pile to toss it away, because no one's going to want to use it. Donate it or sell it. Make yourself some money or whatever. Benefit someone else. Or use it. Bring it back into your life. Do the same with the basement and garage. Before doing the closets in your home. Don't leave it for your children to do one day. I had to clean up and go through so many of Mother's things just to move her from Alabama to Ohio. And of course, she didn't want to let go of anything because she'd already let go of so much previously. She was holding on tight. Didn't matter whether her room in my house had room for it or not. She wanted to know her things were around her. And that's very important. We want to have our precious things around us. But see, when you're moving into a smaller space, it means trimming your possessions down to the things that actually matter to you. This includes your furniture. Consider smaller versions of necessary furnishings, like a love seat instead of a sofa, or a chest of drawers instead of a dresser. They fit in a smaller place better. Take stock of the things that are actually important to you and the things that you could live without or would eventually replace to fit in your new, smaller living space. I basically got rid of some things that people had given me that, you gotta smile and thank them for it, and then it goes up in the attic, and I turned around and sold those. I give some away. Here are some things I started to do to size down. Okay. I took pictures of those sentimental gifts for a memory. And I created my own files for health records and taxes. That takes time, going through the papers and things you saved from tax year to tax year. And maybe the kids' health records, our health records, and I got them all organized. I sorted through my books and kept the ones dear to me. Same with my CDs and DVDs. The holiday decorations I give to my daughters, and some collectibles, to where it was sized down to a more tasteful amount. I got rid of any furniture I couldn't move on my own, but I did keep Mom's daybed with a trundle that slides underneath for furniture, for future company. See, knowing what furniture you will be keeping when you plan to relocate to a smaller living area will save you money on moving expenses, because you'll be moving less. And if it is a heavy piece of furniture or takes up a lot of room, I suggest getting rid of it. As we age, so does our ability to move things, to clean behind it, under or above. So when you go to start, these are my suggestions. Do one room at a time. Start by clearing out a counter, a shelf, or a drawer first before doing closets. Size down your books, music, and movie collections to the oldies but goodies. Choose decor items that will fit in with the seasonal holiday items. Like if you have color and you got to go through all the seasons and holidays and have a little bit of decorations, then it'll draw out that color from that painting, from that rug, from some decor you have on your table. It will fit with less effort. And remember, if something brings you comfort and joy, no matter what it is, keep it. If you got hobbies like painting and crafting, keep those things, but get them organized. Remember, you are planning and preparing your next phase in life. You're not dying. You just want to live a simpler, uncluttered lifestyle with its fair share of benefits. Less to clean and organize, less stress, more money, and more energy for things that matter. We all want that breathing room between our clothing pieces in our closets. Your average closet rod holds 30 hangers, evenly spaced. Remember, the shelf in the closet was first intended for hats, gloves, and purses? If you live in an area with 4 seasons, you have a bigger challenge. Begin purging with, does it fit? Is it age appropriate? Then look it over for holes, fading, or misshapen. With what remains, start putting outfits together that you can layer up or layer down for those seasons. A good way to know what you're wearing out of your closets is turn all the clothes hanging in your closet so that the hangers face back to front. For the next 6 months, if you wear an item of clothing, return it to the closet with the hanger facing the correct way. If you try it on but decide not to wear it, make sure you put it back with the hanger turned backward. No cheating. Be prepared for a shock. You're going to find you own lots of clothes you have no use for. You should seriously consider getting rid of anything you don't wear often. And that would be the ones that face back to front on the hangers. See, it turns out that death cleaning isn't so different from any other kind of serious decluttering projects. Organizing items into piles, labeling items to give to others or charity. Learn whether certain items are worth something to sell. And create a small giveaway box to donate with keepsakes that are only precious to you, but worth nothing to those that would be left behind. And simply, if you don't like something, get rid of it. Don't hide it up in the attic. I had that bad habit. When it comes to a death cleanse, the how is not important. Rather, it's the Scandinavian persistent that it simply be done yearly. And that persistence is necessary because going through your belongings, especially the meaningful ones, can be very difficult. My own experience of getting lost in the memories while reading old letters or viewing photos showed me how time-consuming and emotionally death cleaning can be. I now do this yearly to be ready to move to my future retirement location. I ain't picked the location yet, but I'm ready. Depends on where I find a small house to buy, though, huh? And And as I said, I started in the attic sorting, then told my children to come get what they wanted before having what remained unwanted removed. Nothing goes up there these days. I think the kitchen and the closets are the two hardest things to downsize. As I store and use the things I have for each of the holidays, like you have that special platter or you have that great big roaster for the turkey, those things. We only pull them out a few times a year. That is really what death cleaning is about. Sizing down your life until it's more manageable for your current passions and lifestyles. Well, I figure it's up to my children to cook them big turkey meals and invite me over. They have their homes. We will see. But I can guarantee you, if you start now and do it once a year, it won't overwhelm you when you need to move in retirement. And I know as you age, it's harder to move around and get things done. So keep that in mind and think about all the things your children would have to do something about if you passed away. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.